Hello, my name is Michael Henry, the co-founder of Sponsor Maker. Of the tens of thousands of events that actively seek corporate sponsorships, the biggest challenge they face is finding the right sponsors to target. For an organization to find and contact decision makers just to discover they do not sponsor a certain type of event is both time consuming and yet discouraging. Finding the few sponsors that will commit to sponsoring an event is costly and overwhelming for even the seasoned sponsorship sales team. Granted, you may be aware of the high profile events that attract big name sponsors like Bank of America Marathon, but for every Bank of America Marathon, there are thousands of events that struggle to get their slice of the annual $40 billion sponsorship advertising spend. Enter Sponsor Maker. We help events find the right sponsors by harvesting the data from competitive events that have already happened and producing an informative report that can lead to discovery and learning. This report processes and analyzes completed event information and breaks it down into as many as 60 sponsorship attributes, such as demographic, income, niches, size of sponsorship opportunity, and the list can go on and on. Our clients tell us the details of their event. Our algorithm takes into account the client's current situation, how close they come to the event date, how much money they would like to raise, and we return to our clients an educated guess of similar events and their sponsors. Moreover, we provide detailed information to sales teams on who decision makers are and what the decision making process is for each sponsor. After offering an initial free sample of this type of information we provide, our service carries a price tag of $29 per report, a price point within reach of even the most modest sponsorship budgets. Sponsor Maker brings value to the sales team, cutting sharp research and offering an easy to read format that otherwise would take weeks or months to ascertain. Thank you. So this is our challenge for Sponsor Maker, and I wanted to start by saying that we began our process by taking a talking to larger events and getting consistent responses about the problem, inability to easily identify decision makers. So we went another step, however, and spoke with smaller, almost mom and pop events and discovered a common problem regarding decision makers, but also another number one and number two problem of needing to know which sponsors to go after. So during our process, we provided almost a solution interview. Although limited to only a few, these interviews identified the almost to a person that events wanted to know who the decision makers are and what the processes are for getting the money. But we also uncovered the fact that smaller to almost mid-sized events look to other events to scope out who's sponsoring who. So this, in essence, the competition. So we went through a couple of processes, and we designed a new website from scratch, and it had to have a mental reflush of all the things that we thought we knew about sponsorships and about what we thought we were going to do, into designing a whole new product and a whole new piece. So if looking at our matrix, you'll see a lot of things that are different than what we started with. One of the things that we really discovered that are different, we thought that we would have a lot of individuals interested in finding an easy solution to tell them exactly who to target. And our clients are not actually looking for exactly who to target. They're looking for higher probability of closing. So the closing part is more important, or the contractual part is more important to our particular to our target market. One of the main things we learned from our work, calling and talking to our clients, is we determined that there are a lot of issues with resources allocated towards databases like Hoover's, and just a general database in general, typically across the board, was a problem. So that changed our business model completely. So it'd be just to give a background, we devoted over a year and a considerable amount of time and startup capital to discovering our website, sponsormaker.com. Although we did have some problem interviews, a key mistake that we delegated we delegated the web development. We delegated the marketing research to a web development company that handled our web development. While this was an attempt at market research, it was misguided and ultimately resulted in a slick-looking website that did not solve the real problem because we never identified number one and number two problems of our target audience. We have yet to secure a COO and a CTO, although we are redesigning and launching a new website that has actually resulted in members signing up to our services, unlike our predecessor website, SponsorMaker.com. So in terms of our cost of providing the service, we are testing this after meeting with resistant and higher prices of $79. Our feedback was, although valuable, having decision makers research and other key components of sponsors. We understand that our early adopters were saying that our pricing was a tad bit too expensive. So we actually thought about our top line growth versus our profit margin per unit. So now we've revised our pricing to $29 per report, still allowing a sizable profit per report. Our revenue goals, however, are based on selling additional services and ultimately on selling data to sponsors and their marketing representatives long term. I will put up our screenshot of what the matrix looks like before and after for your viewing pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.